Let's see, it's Sunday afternoon, last actually Sunday evening already. And it's been pretty uneventful this week. Just basically staying home a lot. I did go to the thrift store a couple times. Found 2 tripods. That I like for like $3. You can't beat that. One was 3 and one was 2. So that was good. And then I went to a farmer's market, which I already posted. And they have that at Kaiser Permanente. Different Kaisers have it, and that's every Friday. So you have to call and find out. And you can find farmers markets anywhere. You just go on Google and put in your city, whatever city you're in, and put farmers market, and that will come up. And then you can check that out. Oh, Gary went to start moving yams, the ubes. And he thought they were going to be really small, and he was going to start moving them around. They're not that small. He had an area where he said he thought they were going to be the same size when he put them in when they were really little. And he ended up pulling out massive amounts. And this was in an area that was really a lot of clay, and he hadn't really laid any wood chips down. So he was shocked on that. Then he went into his garden, and he dug a hole, and he dug like a 2-foot hole. And that sucker is that big around. And that's just the top part. And then it's got 3 other shoots off of it underneath that are huge. So I don't know what he's going to do with that. He was going to dig it up, I think. I don't know what he was going to do with that. I don't think he knew what he was going to do with that. I think he thought it was going to be small. He was going to dig it up, cut a little bit off, eat it, and then replant it. He doesn't even want to mess with it. It's like a watermelon. So somebody wrote to me and said they were afraid to plant theirs, and I said plant them in a dishwasher because he thought the dishwasher was going to be the best, and it turned out it wasn't. The dishwasher was the best. It was actually the best in his garden next to his banana trees where all the wood chips are and all that mulch, and that's where they grew massive. And he's got a whole bunch. They're coming up out of the ground everywhere, so he's going to have to see what the other ones look like, and I guess he'll just dig them out as he needs them. I mean, if you don't need them and you're not going to eat them, they just get bigger and bigger. He said some of them can get to 150 pounds. So that's the ones they dig up, 150 pounds. So if you're not going to use it, it's not something that it's going to go bad. Apparently it just gets bigger and bigger. And let's see, what else happened? That was it. My granddaughter let me know. She texted me that she loves the camera. I got her that this CX405, and she's now vlogging and using the camera, which is the same one I'm using now, the Sony camera. And I'm not an affiliate or anything to them. I just like Sony's. I used to use a Canon years ago, and then I switched over to Sony. And so I told her, because she wanted a different camera, like what her mom's got. And I told her, you know, you do, as you start to work on YouTube, you're going to find you need different cameras for different things. So I told her that as you work on YouTube, you'll find that you need different cameras for different filming. Like there's some cameras you use really for photography, and they have a bigger sensor and you get a much better picture. And then there's some that if you're going to, like I do garden tours with either my HX 200, 300, or 400. I really like those a little bit better. But for this one, you're not going to cut your head off because you pretty much know where you are. But when you don't have the camera pointed towards you, the LCD, and you think it's set up right and you step away and it's not, she has cut off her head. So she's really excited. She put up her first vlog. She does a lot of skincare products, company center things, so she's going to be vlogging and doing that. And let's see, what else? Dug up my first carrot from Nick Federoff. Had sent me some seeds, and I threw a pinch of seeds, literally, I don't know, just a pinch I grabbed out of the bag, and I got a video coming up on that. That was funny because I've grown carrots before, but they usually are really small. They're just nothing, they're stringy, they don't taste good. And I should say woody, and then they grow a big top. So I ended up with seeds. Not seeds, I ended up with a carrot this time and not seeds. So I'm going to try to keep the top and get that planted because that carrot was happy here. So let's see, I've got a video going on that. And then I made some more shirts this week. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can step back a little bit. This one, isn't that cute? This was like a baby blanket and had this little puppy dog with floppy ears. Oh, the men are men now. And so I cut the blanket and I made a pocket for the yard because I love my shirt pockets. I can carry all my stuff in there, whether I go to the store or around the garden. And then after I cut the section off that I wanted, I hemmed it all up. My dogs have a really nice blanket now. So that's it. It's Mother's Day today. I got to stay home and work in my garden and do stuff around here, which is nice. It was a quiet Mother's Day. So everybody have a, I hope you had a great Mother's Day and the Mother's Day you want. This was good. I was going to go visit my mom and dad, but my dad ended up with the virus and he's feeling better now. And now my mother didn't feel well today and she told me to stay away. So I called her and I talked to her and I'll see them soon, hopefully. And that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else. I'm going to get some more seeds planted. I'm going to get some more plants in the garden. I bought a bunch of tomatoes. I went back to the nursery and I picked up more tomatoes. They had a table of reduced tomatoes and I picked up 4 and planted them and they're doing great. So I went back and I picked up like another 6 or 7. I don't remember how many. All different types. So we'll see. I picked up one called Tasmanian chocolate. I've never even heard of it. So maybe it will make it. And you can always do cuttings off of tomatoes and put a little cutting in a glass of water and it will root, and that's really, really cool. So with that, I guess that's it. I'll have more videos coming out this week, and I've got a shirt one coming up. It should be coming out right away. A lot of people have been asking about the shirt pockets. It's so easy to make, really, really easy. So I've got one of those coming up, and then more things in the garden, and I'll do updates on my towers that I'm making. I went to Staples, that's right. I went to get some paper at Staples, and they even sell tubs for like $6, a big tub. So you can get those plastic tubs anywhere. Some people don't like plastic tubs, and they say, oh, it should be out of wood, and don't use bricks, and all that. Here's the thing. The people that want something fancy, and if you've got the money, more power to you. Go ahead and do it. But the problem with those raised beds is you literally are going into $100 and $200. No joke. And everybody will talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, but they won't do it because of the expense. If you go with the plastic tubs, and it's only going to cost, you can build a tower, you can build just a few tubs where you compost in place. It's going to cost you $10. Unless you go to a thrift store like me, I pick them up for $2 and $3. I've even found some tubs on the side of the road people were throwing away because they had a crack or something, or they lost the lid. I don't want the lid anyways. So, it's going to cost you next to nothing, less than $10. If you like gardening that much in those tubs and you want to build something fancy or buy something fancy, then you'll have more an incentive of doing it. But a lot of people don't want to put the money out right away. They either don't have it or don't want to, or they're thinking about it and it just never happens. This is so easy. You go pick up a tub for $4 or $5 at any of your big box stores. I've told you Walmart carries it, Lowe's, Home Depot. Somebody wrote to me and told me Kroger's carries it. So many people have these tubs. These containers are for storing, these storage containers, and they have lids. You don't need the lid. Drill holes, put it on the ground, and boom, you've got yourself a garden. And you don't need a big garden. For one person or 2 people, a tub like that will be pretty much enough. You'll have tomatoes growing in there, and you're going to grow parsley, and you can put other greens in there. You can sprinkle some carrot seeds around there. You can, and I think what happens is you put one together, and you can see all my videos. I'll see if I can get a link around or maybe at the end. It's so easy. You start putting those tubs together and you want to put another one together, and then you want to put another one together. You can move it. You can set them up, and if you're not happy where you set them up, it's easy to move. It's not like you're moving a monstrosity that you might end up buying somewhere else. It's just, to me, it's been just wonderful. Even Gary, who wanted and was insisting on planting everything in the ground, he ended up and found a refrigerator somebody threw out, and he set up that, and then he went and bought a hot tub. he found out a lot of the greens and a lot of his food down there grows really, really good in tubs. I think it's the confinement. I think it's the idea that when you water it, like these are peppers and stuff, if you water it, then you know the plant's getting the water. When you just water a plant here, you got a plant growing here, and then you water it, it could be going into a crack, like this table's got a seam here. It could be going there and not getting to the root of the plant. But when you have a container and you're watering in the container, you know it's going to the roots of that plant. And yes, it's going out and going wherever else, but you know it's watering that plant. And I think that's why the plants grow so well. And then you can mulch right on top and just keep mulching like that. So that's pretty much it. So watch for more videos and ask your questions. Here, I'll answer a question for somebody. Somebody asked me about weeds. Do I compost weeds? Absolutely. Oh, that's one of my favorite things. It doesn't matter if it's thistle. It doesn't matter if it's almost anything. I would compost Bermuda grass the way I compost it, but Gary's so afraid of it now after we had a catastrophe of that thing taking over, and he finally got it out, so he won't compost that. But with weeds, when you are setting up your container to compost in place, keep the weeds on the bottom. That's what I say. So as you're filling your container, let's say this is your container and you've got holes in it. Let's say you're going to sit it on the ground and you want the holes on the bottom. Put your weeds on the bottom. Put your shredded paper down there. Put some weeds on the bottom. As you start to build it up, then put your leaves, your yellow leaves, your green leaves you don't want that are no good, your brown leaves, grass clippings, your kitchen scraps. I like putting the kitchen scraps towards the top because they break down so good and the plants just want them right away and they don't have to look for it. But you can put it through the whole thing. Don't worry about it. But as far as weeds, I would keep the weeds towards the bottom and build on top of the weeds because the weeds aren't going to go a foot up. They're not going to be looking. If there's seeds, they're pretty much dead by then. If you throw weeds on the top, you may end up having to pick some weeds out because if there's grass seeds or seeds in there, they may come up. And, you know, periodically I see them and I just pluck them out and drop them back in. It's compost. So with the weeds, yes, I do use weeds. Bermuda grass, Gary would tell you throw it away. Bury it. Burn it. No, we ended up with some manure a couple years ago. We used to get some manure from, there's a little farm around here and they've got llamas and donkeys and horses and sheep and different things. And everything was fine until one day he thinks it was the donkey or horse hay that was Bermuda and there must have been seeds in there. And when he brought it home, he thought it broke down and it didn't. And it took off, and Bermuda grass is kind of like St. Augustine. It's a pain to get rid of. And it just burrows under the ground and then it strangles the other plants. And that's what's scary. I actually read about that in the garden book. He had the same problem. So I haven't gotten any manure in over a year. I really am afraid of it because I find old rotting fruits and vegetables the best when it comes to compost. And then of course we use a lot of wood chips. We put that on the top. Or broken down wood chips can go anywhere. So I think with that, have a great day. And don't forget to eat what you grow and watch for more videos. Thanks. Bye-bye.